If you've been watching the Utah housing market, you've probably noticed something a little bit weird lately. Everybody is saying, rates are high, I'm going to wait to purchase. But what if I told you that right now, right this very moment, is likely the best time to buy real estate here in Utah forever? This might just be the very best time from now and forever to buy Utah real estate, especially new construction. And here's the crazy part that most people just don't realize. Utah home builders are offering massive incentives to keep their product moving and to keep these developments building, to move houses and to make sure that they remain profitable. And when I say incentives, I'm talking about tens of thousands of dollars in credits, free upgrades, and mortgage rate buydowns that make these new homes cheaper than a lot of the resale homes on the market right now. In fact, I will absolutely claim that the best buy in real estate right now here in the state of Utah is new construction homes. And it's for that very reason. Your monthly payment on a new construction home is going to be far better than if you buy an existing home. And yet, barely anybody is talking about this. So today I'm breaking down exactly what you need to know if you're considering a new construction home here in the state of Utah. And I'm talking about the home builders. How do we navigate this process? What you need to know, how they work, what deals are real versus marketing fluff, and why new construction is right now the #1 smart buy in Utah real estate. And I'm going to show you why this period in time, this market condition that we're experiencing right now as we finish up 2025 and moving into 2026, very well might be a market condition that you'll never see again. Because the bottom line is, when the market heats up again and those interest rates start to drop, these incentives are going to go away. And with that, these lower mortgage payments are not going to be there anymore, because despite the fact that mortgage rates will come down naturally as the months and years progress, those incentives are doing so much more than the difference in the interest rate is going to provide. Plus, when these interest rates come down, that means the demand comes out of the woodwork and the real estate prices are going to climb. And so, if you've been sitting on the fence, this video is for you. Watch till the end, because I'm going to explain everything you need to know about moving into a new construction home and how we can help you get there in a way that you probably aren't thinking about. And by the end of this video, you're going to know more about buying smart in this real estate market in the state of Utah than most agents do. Now, most of the videos that you're going to see about buying new construction homes are just outlining the pros and cons of buying new construction. We're not going to do that in this video. What I'm going to do is pull back the curtain and show you exactly what's happening in the real estate market here with respect to new construction right now. In other words, it's working behind the scenes and showing you what's happening. And this is coming from my experience as I do this every single day. I'm in front of people just like you, looking to purchase real estate every single day. And I'm out in the communities where these new homes are being built, and I'm meeting with these builders every single day. So let's start with a quick reality check. Let's begin with talking about where is Utah real estate right now. And right now, the Utah real estate market is kind of in this weird in-between phase between coming out of a 2.5-year period with elevated interest rates and moving into what is to become the next wave or the next transition into a lower interest rate environment. Rates are still hovering higher than most buyers want, but demand hasn't gone away. It's just paused and it's just suppressed. The demand is still there. Countless people are ready to make the purchase when those interest rates come down. And while most resale home sellers are stubbornly holding on to their prices, what are home builders doing? They're sitting on more inventory than they've had in recent years. They have homes completed or on the books and more homes coming to make sure that their businesses are continuing to move forward. And these are the homes that they need to get off of their books. And so they're offering the best incentives that I've ever seen in my entire career. I've seen and helped recent clients get into properties with 5, 7, and even up to 9% of the price of the home back in the form of incentives that we could use not only to pay for all of the closing costs, but that we could use the remaining portion of that to buy down the rate. And we're seeing people get into 3.99% interest rates, into the 4s, and these are interest rates that you just can't get to if you're buying an existing home. And look, here's the kicker. When rates eventually drop, all of that goes away. Prices rise, incentives vanish, and you'll be competing with every other buyer who's been waiting on the sidelines. And this is why I say this is a quiet little transition period or window of time in the real estate market that is primed for the best deals that you're going to see. And the bottom line here is the smart money moves right now, not after things begin to heat up. So let's break this down. Why are Utah home builders offering all of this? And most importantly, how can you take advantage of this without getting burned? And that's exactly what we're going to cover next. Okay, so let's pull back the curtain and actually show you what's actually happening right now. Because honestly, a lot of people hear incentives and a lot of people just think that's a marketing gimmick and it's not really anything valid, it's just fluff. And what I'm here to tell you is that it is not. So look, here's the truth. Builders are real businesses, just like any other business. They borrow so much money to build these homes. And because of that, every single home that's finished and sitting completed is costing them a fortune. And this comes in the form of not only holding costs with respect to interest, but also the money that they've got tied up in the land and other expenses associated with building that home. And so when buyer traffic slows down, what do? Well, they sweeten the pot. And they're not just sweetening the pot, they actually have to compete one with another. And that's where I come in as a real estate professional. So if you're considering making the move and new construction is on your radar, please reach out to me. I can help navigate this process with you to make sure that you're getting the very best possible deal. Because as these builders are sweetening the pot, they're competing with each other to earn your business as a home buyer. And most importantly, when you know the strategies that work and you have relationships with the builders as we do, we can really make that an advantage for you to get you into the best possible deal right now. And I predict that these deals that are happening are not just moving from now until the end of the year, but this is going to proceed into next year as well until the interest rate environment really comes down to a point where the demand really comes out of the woodwork. And what I'm seeing is massive discounts in permanent financing or interest rates that are 2 to 3% discounted from what the normal going rate is. And so what does that mean? I'm seeing houses that we're buying for people as low as 3.99% or in the fours up to 4.99%. We're getting a lot of people under 5% on their mortgage rate. And that's just an incredible difference, and it has an incredible impact on your monthly payment. In addition to interest rates, we're seeing $10,000, $20,000, $30,000, $50,000 in closing costs that are being paid for by the builder, by the seller to cover those expenses for you so that you're not having to come out with so much money out of pocket at closing. We're also seeing other ways that they're offering incentives, and that comes in way of free upgrades, whether it be free landscaping or even finished basements. If you know what to look for and how to pit one against another, you as the buyer really get to take advantage of what the best deal is for you. And for those builders, they'd rather lose a little bit of money today to get those properties moving and get those homes sold rather than carry that home on the books for another 3, 4, 5, or even 6 months. And like I said before, when the rates come down below 6%, these deals are going to be gone. So that's why I say, if you're considering making this transition or making a purchase in new construction specifically in the next 6 to 12 months, the golden time to do so, the absolute best time is right now. Because even if you're not buying a home that's move-in ready, if you're looking to build from the dirt up, that process is likely going to take another 7 to 10 months to get that home built, but the incentives are here now. So if we lock these into a contract now, over the course of the next couple or few months, you're going to reap the rewards later next year when you're moving into your new home and the other buyers that are buying those same homes more than likely are paying a lot more than you are. And what do I mean by that? I'm not talking about the purchase price. I'm talking about the monthly payment and how it impacts your budget. But not all builders or incentives are created equal. Some are amazing and absolutely ridiculous, but others are just a little bit of smoke and mirrors. So let me show you how to tell the difference. So here's something that most people don't understand. And when it comes to buying new construction, you don't really negotiate the purchase price of that home. And let me explain why. First of all, these builders are building these homes and they need to set the pricing for the home, not only to get that home sold, but it impacts greatly what the next phase and the next homes that they're building. And so if they discount the price, it's going to impact future phases and future profits. So rather than do that, they're offering so much more money in way of incentives to get you into that home. And that's drastically decreasing your out-of-pocket expenses for closing costs, as well as your monthly mortgage payment. But it's also more than that. Builders want their pricing on these homes to look consistent to the next buyers as well. They don't want to create an environment where there's constant haggling. So rather than haggling price, they wheel and deal with these incentives and the other things on the back end that helps you tremendously. And I will argue this all day long. Every $10,000 that you get back in the way of incentive or concessions is drastically more impactful on your monthly payment and your budget than any price reduction ever could be for that same dollar amount. So to put this really simply, I would rather have $50,000 to work with in terms of incentives and concessions to buy down my rate and to manipulate the purchase of my home rather than have a $50,000 price reduction. And so what I'm saying here, you don't negotiate the price of the home, but you do get to negotiate the terms of the contract and those incentives. And so things that we can ask for include extra incentives, upgrades, landscaping, appliance packages, closing cost credits, and so much more. Or you can time your offer in a spec home. That's a move-in ready home that the builder has already finished or is near completion. These quick move-ins are some of the best buys in real estate because these are the ones that are on the builder's books and they want to get them moving rather than sitting as stagnant inventory. And if you know how to approach the process right out of the gate rather than just approach the builders themselves, in other words, if you have a really good agent like us to represent you in the process of purchasing a new construction home, we can do this all day long. We do this every single time and it works like magic. It's amazing to me how many people overspend when they're buying new construction homes. So I beg you, please reach out to us. We can save you money every single month in the way of that monthly mortgage payment because we're doing it every single day for every one of our clients. And that leads us to the next big cheat code right now in the real estate market, and that's builder financing. Okay, so I can't overstate this enough. Builder financing is another secret weapon in the Utah real estate market right now when buying new construction. And here's why. Builders have relationships with these preferred lenders. So these builders, they'll often pay that particular lender, that preferred lender, to buy down your mortgage rate, sometimes by 1.5, or 2 full percentage points. So while the market rate might be 7.25 or 6.5 or 6.25, I've helped countless clients get well under 5% and even under 4% for their mortgage rate. And you simply cannot get that kind of leverage on the resale market right now. We might be able to get some concessions from a seller to help with closing costs and other things, but it's not going to come close to what builders are providing. And here's the wild part. When interest rates do fall, whether that's next year or the following, it doesn't matter. During that period of time, you will have saved a lot of money every single month because your monthly mortgage payment is going to be drastically less. And while people are out buying existing homes and paying much more per month for those homes, you're taking advantage of the new construction market where you're likely seeing much greater appreciation as these communities get built out and developed. And that's why new construction and buying a new build in the state of Utah is the smart way to buy a home in 2025 and 2026. But remember, not every builder is the same. Some are really solid and have phenomenal incentives, but others are all about volume. So let's talk about how to tell the good ones from the ones that maybe you should be a little more cautious about. Okay, let's talk about home builders. In fact, in the coming weeks, I'm going to do a number of videos about Utah's home builders, and I'm talking about local builders, regional builders, as well as the larger national builders that are building here in Utah. And I'm not doing it for all home builders, just in one giant bucket. I'm actually splitting it up. I'm going to do videos ranking these builders anywhere under $700,000, and then I'm ranking different builders in between $700,000 to $1 million, and another category for over $1 million. So I'm doing this so that I can really be honest and not be comparing apples to oranges with respect to builders that are building $600,000 homes versus other builders that are building $1 million homes. So I want to really break this down for you so regardless of what your budget is, you can see clearly where some of these builders are really excelling and where others might be failing. So if that's what you're looking for, stay tuned. Subscribe to the channel if that's the type of content that you're looking for, because those videos are upcoming in the coming weeks. You're going to get a lot of value if you're considering looking at new construction homes. And I've put this off for quite some time with the thought that I don't want to really upset any builders, but to be honest with you, I'm not here to represent builders. I'm here to represent you to make sure that you get the best product. So I'm not going to hold anything back. I'm going to give my opinions based on not only my personal experience, but the experience of countless others, including clients, as well as other real estate professionals, as well as reviews and everything that goes into what makes a good home builder and should I do business with them. So stay tuned if those are the videos that you're looking for. They're coming up very soon. But look, here's how I like to evaluate them. I want to really consider the reputation. What are past buyers saying about them? Look for consistent build quality and all of the other things that really impact the client experience when we're building a home with any particular builder. Next, let's talk about warranty service. Are they actually going to follow through with the things that they say they're going to do? Number 3, we're going to talk about build quality. And this is something that so many people think today, that homes are so inferior to what was built in decades past. And I'm really going to dive into this topic because for me, there's pros and cons to it, and I really want to break that down. But overall, build quality is an essential criteria for ranking these builders as well. And last up, it's timeline. Because the bottom line here is delays cost you money, not just them. And when you're working with an agent that really knows these builders and knows the processes, not only by which we can get the best incentives and get your monthly payment down, but also how to navigate the process of buying and building these homes. Like my team and I, we're professionals at this. This is our specialty. When you work with a team like us, you'll get the benefit of all of the experience from the past transactions of decades of experience, really narrowing it down for you to make sure that you're making the best purchase for you. Because as I tell everybody when we're out looking at homes, not every glossy model home tells the truth. And speaking of glossy models, let's talk about the biggest traps that builders have said that could cost you thousands or even tens of thousands. Okay, the biggest trap and the one that I say to every single buyer as we go out and adventure is model homes. Model homes are the biggest trap that you can possibly imagine. So when you're looking at these homes for the first time, reach out to us first so that we can make sure that you're registered and make sure that we can get you into those homes with realistic expectations, because when you walk in and you see these beautiful model homes, you're likely going to be sucked into, well, this home starts at $599,000, when in reality, that home that you're seeing is $900,000. So they're really good at this, and this is one of their traps. Because the big secret here is almost nothing that you see is actually standard. You'll walk through a gorgeous custom kitchen with custom cabinetry and a full quartz backsplash, or maybe double waterfall ends on the island, or 9-foot doors, wood beams, designer lighting, and so much more. But then you find out, oh, that's a $60,000 upgrade package. I wasn't expecting that. So when we're walking these model homes, I can actually show you, because I've walked through them hundreds of times, this is standard, this is not, this is what you can expect. And that guidance will save you so much time and energy and heartache, to be honest with you, and it will provide you with so much clarity. And other things that I like to watch for is landscaping exclusions. Many builders simply don't include the front or the back landscaping, but I also want to make sure that we know the HOA costs and fees, as well as lot premiums, which is a really big one. How much is the lot premium for that particular lot that you're interested in, as well as the quote unquote estimate as to when the timeline for this project or this home being built is to be expected. And knowing all of these things up front just helps you have a realistic expectation and a realistic budget that's going to give you peace of mind. That's going to not only give you peace of mind, but it's going to give us leverage as we're working with multiple builders to get the best deal for you. And so now you know how to avoid overpaying for a home. Reach out to us, get our guidance. We can save you tens of thousands of dollars and so much on your monthly mortgage payment. But let's talk about where the best new construction deals are right now. If you've driven around Utah recently, you know that growth is not slowing down. Utah is one of the fastest growing states in the country, and since 2010, it has been the #1 fastest growing state in the entire nation. And it's not coming to a stop, it's just spreading. And so these are the key zones that I'm dialed in with respect to new construction, that I've got my eye on, that I can really drastically improve your chances of getting the best deal when it comes to buying new construction. So these are the areas or the zones that I'm really focused on, that I know like the back of my hand. Number 1 is Lehigh and Saratoga Springs. These areas are incredibly hot markets. This is a major tech hub for the Wasatch Front and for the state of Utah. Lehigh and Saratoga Springs are booming markets with developing infrastructure that's going to transform this area forever, and the real estate values are going to be greatly impacted as this infrastructure and the new freeways are developed and fully built out, which is happening right now. And with strong schools and freeway access and all of the amenities that you would expect, these areas are super desirable. And number 2, moving just a little bit west, is the fastest growing city in the state of Utah, and that is Eagle Mountain. Eagle Mountain is going to be the top city for growth in the state of Utah, in my opinion, for the next 10, 15, maybe even 20 years. This place has so much room to grow, and so many people are moving to Eagle Mountain. This region specifically is a place where I sell a lot of real estate, a lot of homes, and a lot of new construction homes. And I know every single street like the back of my hand. And there's a lot of builder options going on in Eagle Mountain with various builders. There's so many of them. So if you're looking at Eagle Mountain or Saratoga Springs or Lehigh, I'm dialed in. I know every street like the back of my hand. And more importantly, I know which builders are building in these areas. And oftentimes, a lot of the homes that they actually have and they sell never make it onto the market or the MLS or the websites that you're using to find homes. So reach out to us. We can get all of the homes that are not on market to make sure that you're not missing out on something that maybe you would have really wanted rather than just picking the one that was listed on the MLS. And moving on, the next area is Harriman and Bluffdale. These cities at the southwestern corner of the Salt Lake Valley include huge master plan communities, and they still have room to grow. Harriman is still growing, and so is Bluffdale. Bluffdale is a very desirable area as well, right there at the southern point of the Salt Lake Valley, and you can get a lot more land and bigger properties, big detached garages and large properties with horses and all these things. There's some really desirable areas here that some people are super interested in. Next up, I want to go south of Utah Lake, and I want to go down to Spanish Fork and Payson, Springville, Mapleton, Salem. This southern region below Provo is an area to really watch for the next 10 to 15 years. There's a lot of room to grow. In fact, if you look at a map of the state of Utah and you zone into this region just below, just south of Provo, you can see clearly on Google Maps or whatever map you're looking at, there's a lot of land there and room to grow. This is an area that's going to be hot for many, many years. And while these areas are further from downtown Salt Lake City, not everybody needs that quick of access into Salt Lake City. And there's a lot of things to be desired here. In fact, the first Buc-ee's being built here in Utah is being built right there in Springville, and it's going to be massive. It'll be 72 or 73,000 square feet. And it's really something that people are excited about because this area is really booming in the south end of Utah County. Next up is St. George and the surrounding areas of Washington and other cities in the southwest corner of the state of Utah. This area is growing like crazy. It always is and always has been, and it's a great retirement destination, but it's also a really great place to buy your luxury home. And St. George is a really appealing place to be with year-round golf, palm trees, a beautiful desert landscape, and Zion National Park right there in your backyard, as well as Sand Hollow State Park with a reservoir to go boating and four-wheeling and all the things that you want to do. St. George is a really attractive place to move to. And so if that's an area, reach out to us because we have all the builders there as well if you're looking for one of those new homes down in the St. George market. Next up, another hot zone in terms of new construction is west of Ogden. And this includes Syracuse and West Point, but there's a recent development that was just announced in the last month, building a master planned community that's very similar to that of Daybreak in Salt Lake County, and it's going to be 13,200 homes. This is going to be an incredible master plan community, and this region on the western side of Ogden, not only in Weber County, but south into Davis County as well, these areas are booming and they are worth watching. And next up, I can't talk about growth without talking about Park City. Park City and the surrounding areas, including Midway and Heber, as well as so many other pockets and places around the Jordanelle Reservoir, as well as Deer Valley, and all the development that we're seeing around the new Tiger Woods Golf Course, and so much more. This region is transforming right between our eyes, and the real estate opportunities when it comes to luxury real estate, or if you're looking for something that's maybe just under $1 million, there's still a lot of options there as well. But luxury real estate, anywhere from $1 million to $2 million is kind of the entry point, and it goes all the way up into $5, $8, $10, $12 million and well over that as well. But this region is worth watching, especially as we're preparing for the next Winter Olympics here in 2034. This region is exploding in growth, and it will only continue to do so. It's actually anticipated that an additional 24,000 homes are going to be built in this region north of Heber and east and south of Park City, including the massive development of Wasatch Hollow. So if this is an area that you're particularly interested in, reach out to us so that we can really dial you in with these areas. We do video tours for clients one-on-one where I'm just talking to you specifically, that I can give you an experience where I'm the boots on the ground, but it almost feels like you're here. So if you're looking for new construction in these areas, reach out to us as well. And the common thread here is what makes all of these areas so attractive is that they're all in growth mode. Builders are competing hard, which means incentives and more upside potential long-term, as well as appreciation that comes in these growth markets. And buying before the infrastructure and the demand fully catch up is how you build equity fast. And that's exactly why timing matters so much. And as I said before, this quiet market, this golden moment in the real estate market will not last forever. I anticipate it lasting at least a few more months, but coming into next year, everything could change. Okay, so we all know the saying, don't buy real estate, buy real estate and wait. And in Utah, it's no different. It's especially true. And here's what's happening behind the scenes. Interest rates are expected to ease heading into 2026. And the moment that happens, affordability improves, which means demand spikes yet again. That means the builders who are offering $40,000, $50,000 or more in incentives today, well, they won't need to do that when people are coming through their model homes and buying homes once those interest rates are more attractive. And I've seen this exact pattern play out time and time again. The market is flat or in a decline, and then it explodes. And the people that bought at the right time are sitting on hundreds of thousands of dollars of equity because they purchased when everybody else wasn't. Sometimes when everybody else is zigging, the best thing for you to do is to zag, and vice versa. And the question isn't if the Utah real estate market will heat up, it's when. And when it does, you'll wish you would have purchased before it actually happens. So if you're wondering where to even start the process, well, let's simplify that next. So look, here's the step-by-step process that I give each and every client before you walk into a model home. Number one, know your area. What's your commute? What is your school district that you're looking at? What does the community feel like? And what do you want in a community and your lifestyle? Number two, get approved. Not all lenders are created equal, and builders love strong buyers. I have a few lenders that I trust with everything that I do, and I can definitely put them in touch with you to get you prepared. Number three, work with a new build experienced agent. That's huge. Builders pay the agent, not you. I work with builders all the time, and knowing how to navigate that process is really something that not every real estate agent, in fact, very few are actually experts in. So reach out to us. We're here to help. And number four, let's compare what we negotiate with builders one to another. Let's compare 2 or 3 different builders to see where the best deal is for you. And these can vary widely, even within the same city. And number 5, let's lock in your rate and especially your incentives early on in the process, because these things change monthly based on the builder and the preferred lenders that they work with to offer these credits to begin with. So we've got to lock those in. If you can do these 5 steps, you're going to save so much headache and so much money. In fact, today I was out in a model home with several clients that were in town that are moving here to the state of Utah and looking to purchase new construction. And after I left, there was a gentleman that had walked into the home who, after I had left, asked the builder's agent, "Hey, is that Scott?" And the builder's agent said, "Yeah, that's Scott Steele." And he said, his reply was, "Well, I watch all of his videos. I love his videos." He didn't reach out to me. He didn't reach out to see what I could have done to help him get a better deal. He just went straight to the builder. I guarantee you I could have saved him money in his monthly payment, in the price of his home. I could have saved him money. So don't let that be you. Reach out to us early on in the process, and we can definitely get this going for you. And beyond all of the math, there's one more reason why I really like new construction as being the best buy in real estate right now. So here's the thing. A lot of buyers just look at price tags and they forget the total cost of home ownership. New construction homes are just, I'll be honest, they're better built. And I'm not talking about the finishes. I'm not talking about the fixtures, the finishes, the baseboard, the floors, the cabinetry. I'm talking about the structure of the home and the engineering that goes into the products that are used. The homes today are far superior to the homes that were built just a few decades ago. Now, when I say that, I'm not talking about the finishes in the home, remember, but in terms of the structure itself, it's a better built home today. From energy efficient windows to smart thermostats to better insulation, better techniques in terms of installation, as well as higher quality products and higher SEER HVAC systems, water efficient plumbing, you name it, the list goes on and on. That means your monthly expenses are lower from day one, less maintenance, lower utilities, fewer surprises. You have a new roof, you have a new HVAC system, all those systems that cost so much money and really plays into the cost of home ownership are things that you're not going to have to worry about for so many years. And if you choose to sell it and it's time to sell, buyers love these new construction homes. And that to me is built-in resale value to make sure that you're getting the best deal if you have to sell or you choose to do so. So in essence, you're not just buying a new home, you're buying a lower cost of home ownership, as well as future home value and value right now in the form of your monthly expenses. Okay, so let's wrap all of these things up. Let's cover everything that we talked about in this video. First, we covered why builders are offering huge incentives right now, how to negotiate the right way on terms and not price, the power of builder financing and rate buydowns, as well as which Utah home builders are worth your time, and most importantly, why you need to get in touch with us to make sure that we can help you start this process and get your feet off on the right step to make sure that you're getting the best deal possible for you. We also covered what traps to avoid. Those model home traps are real. We want to make sure that we're guiding you in this process to make sure that you have healthy and realistic expectations, but we also get to take advantage of the best deals for you. We also talked about where the best deals for new constructions are, where the hottest areas are, as well as why timing matters so much when doing all of these things. And I even gave you a step-by-step process about what we're going to do in those first 5 steps to get your feet off the ground and to make sure that you start this process correctly. And with all of that said, if you've been waiting for the right time to buy, that time is right now. This will be the best possible time to buy real estate in Utah for now and forever if it's the right time to buy for you. Because when everyone else starts rushing back into the market next year, when the interest rates come down, you'll be the one sitting in your brand new home with equity already building. And with all that said, reach out to us. My team and I would love to be your real estate resource of choice. We're here to guide you through the process, whether you're buying new construction or existing. We're specialists in doing exactly this and helping you relocate or move within the state of Utah. We're here to be your guide. We have the knowledge, the expertise, and the tools to make this process seamless and stress-free for you. So reach out to us. You can find my contact information down in the description below. And if this is the type of content that's helpful, hit that subscribe button. It means the world to me and it helps me get in front of more people just like you, and you can stay in touch for future videos, especially those videos where I'm ranking the builders here in the state of Utah. And if you're looking to learn more about life in Utah, check out this playlist next. And until the next time, thanks.